everybody, and welcome back to another episode, guys. Happy Tuesday. Thank you guys for being here. Rudy, my friend, welcome. Nice to
What's
see
up,
you.
man?
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
being
having
here.
me.
You made it once
I
again.
made it.
Looks like the job is looking to replace someone, huh?
Wait. Oh. No. It's just called work-life balance. When I'm not paying for J&D's $2,000 figures.
You sound like Luch. Shout out to Luch. He's always too busy balancing to collect, So, guys, we got some action. We got some Hono action. We got some third-party action. We got some drama. We got some J&D drama that we're gonna get into. Those peasants, and then obviously we got the watch party after the stream. So stay tuned, guys. Stay behind if you want to stream with us. There's usually about 5 to 6 of us backstage. We always have a blast. So if you're interested in having some fun with real collectors, I'm gonna post a link again as usual at the end of the stream so you guys could join us. Shout out to P-Rock for joining us and leaving us hanging last week. He came out and disappeared. It's like, what happened? Oh, man. But let's say hello to the chat real quickly, guys, and then we can get started since it's going to be a quick show as usual now that the Acolyte is going on. Also, we got some Star Wars upcoming news that is actually very exciting, and it may tell us something about some potential product coming. So we're going to get into that as well. We got the Thor in the house. Welcome, my friend. How are you doing? If you're not first, you're last. If you're not first, you're last. Thank you for being here, my friend. Welcome. Uncarded in the house. How are you, my friend? He says, they not like us. They not like they shield for hater. And Rudy shields for J&D. We have Bao.
How you doing?
Welcome, Hono veterans. Yes, guys, there's 18 of you guys in here already. Please hit that like button if you don't mind. Don't be peasants already. We just started. We got Figment in the house. How are you, my friend? How doing? Nice to see you. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here as always. We got Uncarded. He says there was one circulator named Fabs whose figures you see him poses in Draco and a Henny and his inner pre-orders were many.
You gotta frame that one, man.
Oh, man, that is great. I know. I do gotta frame that. I gotta put that in a little frame up here, right here, right in front of me. That's funny. We got Anthony in the house. Welcome, my friend. Nice to see you. How you doing? Welcome, guys. Let's see. Do we go over this one? No, we got this one. We got Paul in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. Welcome. We got Chris in the house. How are you, my friend? Thank you for being here. And then let's see who else, guys. You guys are on fire. Joker J in the house. How are you, my friend? Thank you for being here. Welcome. We got Thule in the house. How are you, my friend? Thank you for being here.
How you doing?
Oh, man. Hit that like button. Yes, guys, please hit that like button. There's 18 of you guys in here. We got Caleb in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Let's see. We got, oh, my God, Barry Maiden. Guys, so for those who don't know, first and foremost, thank you for being here, my friend. So for those who don't know, he was banned by his girlfriend from being on the stream, from watching the stream.
You're kidding.
I'm not.
No way.
He told him, why do you watch that guy? And he said, I'm sorry, I'm a peasant. And he stopped. And now he's single, so he's back. Oh, my God. You made it finally. Welcome. Let's see who else is in the house with us tonight. Let's see who's here. Cody, welcome, Nice to see ya. You made it.
Yeah, I'm multitasking.
Why would he do? Unbelievable. The hardest thing you've ever done. Scream and eat. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This guy, unbelievable. Let's see who else is in the house. We got Nathan in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being. Welcome. We got Ryan. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Come on, guys. No, no weird stuff with that like button. Exactly, Nathan. Thank you for that. Ultimate Black Panther. Yes, guys. This is the BP veteran right here. He just got that transforming Black Panther, so I had a few questions on it, and he responded like a true Black Panther veteran. So shout out to him. Oh man. Yeah, no, actually, I was wondering about the figure, and he has it in hand, and he sent me a few pictures next to the Mark III, and that Black Panther is super tall compared to that figure. So,
are you getting it?
He said, "What?
Are you getting it?"
Oh, I'm getting it, just not yet, because I know it's like $500. There's no way that's going to be sitting there for $500 forever. So, absolutely. Tuli says, "Air that man out." She didn't want me to collect anymore. See? There you go. I wasn't lying. Rob in the house. Welcome, my friend. Nice to see you. All right, guys. So let's get started right away, since we got to be done for the Acolyte, which is William's favorite show, apparently.
Pretty good.
He said pretty good.
It is.
See, Rudy, I told you. Rudy was like, "Oh no, I can't stand Disney," and I told you.
Is that what you said, Rudy?
I watch
William
all the
loves-
Marvel stuff, man.
if
I love
William-
all the Marvel stuff.
If William loves it, it's a good show. What'd you say, William?
I was asking him if he liked the Star Wars stuff. He said, "I like Marvel."
I like Marvel.
Marvel. I like Marvel. All right, guys. So first and foremost, we're gonna get started with the first release that we got by Hono. Okay, we got Jeff in the house. Welcome, my friend. So as you can see, guys, we got the figure out finally. It felt like it was kind of quickly for it to be released. At least I feel that way. I feel like we just pre-ordered this and we were just having conversations on this. It only feels like a few months ago, maybe like 4 months ago, but obviously it's been longer than that. So let's go with you, William, since you're and overall you collect a little bit of everything, and obviously you have a whole shelf of this stuff. How do you feel about the figure? Are you getting the figure? Since obviously we know, I've seen your posts that you have Wolverines already. You're currently, if not sold already, you're selling the Sideshow Brown Wolverine.
Yeah, that was my spare one. He's gone now.
So how do you feel about this? Are you getting this?
I like it. I'm getting it. The claws. I want to see the claws in person because, perspective with photography is its own thing. And, it's like the claws are long because I get it. They're going for the outlandish comic look of it. But it's, you point something toward the camera, it's going to look bigger.
Right.
And,
wait, people are complaining about that?
Some people are talking about how big the claws are and how big his crotch bulge is. So it's like everyone always wants to find something to get mad about.
Seriously, but like the crotch? I thought this was a trans-friendly community. What happened? Why people picking on crotches? You know what I mean? Like, that's so immature. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, they're jealous.
They're jealous. Unbelievable. We got Ernesto in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome. One of the only few people who stays backstage with us, Ernesto, right here, representing. Thank you for always staying, my friend. So Rudy, go ahead. What's your take on this?
No, it looks pretty good. I mean, just for me, I was always waiting for the MCU one, so I got that one already. So I got to be honest, I'm more interested in waiting for the peasant companies like So and Present Toys to give me their versions to see what they're doing.
Wait, so you
Like-
would rather one of those over Hono?
Yeah, I think
Really?
right now 'cause I like the way the Present Toys design was for their Cyclops and for their Magneto. So they teased that they were going to do some of these. So I'd be curious to see what it looks like before I jump into this one as my animated version.
Gotcha. Chris in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome.
Hono's price point might undercut So and Present Toys, though.
It might actually.
It's not worth it for them to try to produce something that's going to be. They can't get their price down to what Hono just put out.
That's true because the Cyclops, like the Present Toy Cyclops Deluxe with the diorama base, was actually like $250 or something, which is a little high for them.
Well, that diorama is massive. It looks like so.
Yeah,
And the Present Toys Magneto is the same way, where the hand thrown looks real cool, but it's even without that, the Hono one is still like $50 less than the Present Toys Magneto. So if you're going to be getting quality and the customer service that comes with buying a licensed figure, then it's like, do I really want to spend $50 more for an unlicensed one? Because every now and again the Present Toys and the So Toys have some quality control issues. But if it's the only version of a figure that you can get, because the Gambit, the Cajun card dealer from So Toys, is real nice. That's the version I have, but I got it for decent price compared to what it's going for now. And the Sideshow Gambit is still in stock, and because it's like, compare this Hono Wolverine to the Sideshow, you have the seamless arms, and you have the seamless arms and stuff. The Sideshow one, 3 sets of arms and all the other weird crap that came with it. And this is a straight Jim Lee comic book style Wolverine, and he's only 11 inches tall, so he's more in line with shorty Wolverine from the comic rather than I'm a giant Hugh Jackman.
Right, exactly.
Plus foot,
And the arms are what differentiate that. You know what I mean? The arms look 100% obviously animated. That bulk on the arms, that mass on the arms. I really like the way the arms look, though. They look really, really good and really, really real. Like
that pose right there.
Yeah. Yes. Look at the veins. Look at the
claws. Don't look too crazy from that.
Correct.
And, it's just, it looks like he's ready to, mess somebody up.
Actually, with this frown, he looks like he's ready to cry. But we have this guy right here. This is the angry look. Look at that. So look how long they do look in front of the figure, though. My God,
they look pretty long. I saw an unboxing video. They're pretty exaggerated. Which I think goes fine with the look that they're going.
Absolutely. You know what this reminds me of? Did you guys ever play X-Men Children of the Atom?
Yep.
So this is what that figure brings me back to. Specifically that when he starts the match, when he goes like this, and the blades literally look humongous. Also, his power move, his special move, the Berserker Barrage, that makes his claws, obviously it's an effect, but the way that his claws come across the screen, awesome. So I'm not complaining or mad about the claws. It's supposed to be animated. Let it be extra. I don't think that making the claws shorter would have made the figure that much better. I don't think.
Well, it was funny when Hugh Jackman came out as Wolverine, everyone was complaining when they first saw the claws in the movie because they came out from between his knuckles instead of on top of the hand, and they were only like 11 or 12 inches long, whereas they're used to the comic book exaggerated look.
Right.
He's tall and he has short claws. Wah, wah. For this whole generation, because Hugh Jackman's been Wolverine for what, 15 years at least? And, it's like, so
he is
now
that character for a lot of people
what
now.
People associate it with because, the movies were successful for the most part. And, it's what everyone in the modern times, they see the movie versions, and that's the version that all these people have in their heads, as opposed to 50 years, 60 years of Marvel comics. And even though Wolverine's a little bit 10 years less because he came in the 70s, but that's still quite a bit of time. And you have this 5'3" dude with big old claws, and it's just funny seeing the differences of generation gap, I guess.
And one thing about the the claws specifically, without the claws being this long, these effects will look very crappy and useless. So I think the length of the claws are very important. Again, specifically for the figure, because not necessarily because of this, but having that length helps the effects look better. Look at that. Look how long that is. That's like, my God, that looks like Freddy Krueger knives.
Because it's longer than his forearm where they're supposed to be stored.
Right. I saw somebody had a joke, like an image where it's like if you retract them, they're like coming out his elbow or something, or if he doesn't do it the right way, they come out of his like, wrist. It's crazy.
Rudy, what material do you expect the arms to be? Do you expect them to be like a little silicone, a little bit rubberish? I don't know. Obviously, I know you don't have the Thor figure yet, but what would you expect? If anything, would you expect the arms to be like Thor, like the Thor figures?
I think so. Right? I mean, you'd have to, because you're not going to go silicone, not at this price, especially if you believe what J&D and some of those other companies are saying about the cost of that.
Correct.
So I think you have to go with something similar to the Thor to get it to look that good.
Ash, welcome. Look at you hiding in the shadows.
I'm doing.
Welcome. How many am I getting? Well, I didn't even pre-order this. I actually almost ordered it today. I had something like $25 in points, so it was going to come out to like $160 total. And I said, you know what? I said, let me wait. I'll wait for it to be like fully out. It's not gonna. I'm not worried about it selling out by any means. So, but I'm waiting to use my points on it. And so I'm only getting one though. I don't think I need any more than that. It's gonna go on the shelf where everything else is, right? So all my Toys Era X-Men stuff from the movies, the Rogue, obviously from Social Toys. So this figure is gonna go with all that, with all those not animated, those other figures. This is a home run, absolutely. 11 inches of Venom. He was a stage actor and singer, dancer. No one thought he'd be a part. Yep, I did hear that. Brad, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
I'm doing.
Here, you made it. Welcome. Let's see. So now, question for you, Rudy. Rating this 1 to 10 right now.
I'd give it a solid like 9 for what it is.
Right?
Yeah. Because it's
go ahead.
It's nothing too fancy, right? It's a very simple figure, which is the whole point behind Hono, right? It's not, you're not getting it. The suit looks great, but it doesn't have like crazy tailoring to it, crazy detailing.
Correct.
Right. The arms are really the highlight with the face sculpt, but you're not getting a full sculpt too, right? It's very animated, very simple figure. So I think for what it is, I think it's a solid 9. I think it's a really good looking figure. I'm like you, I haven't ordered it yet. I'm kind of debating whether or not I'm going to get it.
You have to get it. You know why you have to get it? So you could at least,
so I can send it to you.
Well, if you want. But so my mentality with the in-art Joker was, I have to buy to at least not only buy their first product, but to at least be able to talk on the product and see what the product is about. So that's the only reason why I bought in-art, the Joker, right? Then when they mentioned and they announced Pennywise, I was like, oh, this is going to go great with the Hot Toys Pennywise. So that's the only reason why I bought those two, right? So the reason I'm telling you need to is because you'll have it. You'll know what it's about. You'll have their first product that was ever made, which is, I would like to think that is meaningful, at least for me, right?
Yeah, so to have the first product.
So
and
why?
And honestly, look at the suit. Look at the suit too. It looks very fabric, right? Which is good, as opposed to like that rubbery material that you end up using with the
correct.
With
now,
some
do
of the other
you think that's a better move than one of those like rubberish Spider-Man suits?
Maybe, but then again, I don't like, they have him in some really decent poses, but I don't see him being super, right? They don't have him like in this super dynamic, like hunched over look. It's all in the arms, so that's the other thing, right? It's not as or whoever had it didn't pose it as much as they can. So it's not like they're pushing this thing to the way the Spider-Man suits get pushed, if you want to. So look, I think for what it is, it's a really, really good offering, and I think it's a solid 9 for me. It looks good. There's just no real negatives to it.
Exactly. It's, you know what, and you know why? Obviously, if you want to complain about anything, it's going to be the faceplate and the head sculpt, right? Because it's just animated. There's no likeness to it. It's just very basic. This is the most generic anything you're ever going to get, right? Barry says the Love and Thunder Thor figure has huge arms and these look bigger. Yes, so the Thor Love and Thunder from the Love and Thunder Thor figure, the bare arms look huge compared to his covered arms. But these arms, he's 100% correct. They look way bigger than that. So I can't wait to compare the arm size. Also, one thing I was going to ask you, Rudy, do you think that? I'm trying to think what the question was. I had a question for you. Oh, the price point. Do you think the price point will affect people's way of how they feel about this? Meaning, oh, it's $160. This is great. Instead of this is 300 and change. Like, I'm going to be more.
100%, 100%. If this were $300, if this were the same cost as the Hugh Jackman one that we just got from Wolverine and Deadpool, and this is what you got, I think you'd have a lot of people complaining, where's my money going to? What am I paying for? People are already complaining about that figure being overpriced, right? I think 160, this is going back to the golden age of Hot Toys when they were like 140,
literally.
150. This is something that, just like when we talk about me buying a third-party figure, right? It's easier to kind of part with that and say, listen, if I don't get something that's that good, it's not as expensive as a Hot Toys. This is looking like, to William's point, right? He's got a really solid point. It's quality. You're gonna get the customer service. It's really well priced and it looks good. So I mean, what's there really to complain about? I think if it were priced any higher, people would say it's too expensive. This was a great pricing for them, I think.
Why is it about, or what is it about this figure, or not this figure, this line specifically? Because you talked about and you mentioned Magneto. Right? Or not Magneto, Cyclops. Talking about you like the other ones better. Obviously, we haven't seen this yet, but you like those other ones. Why? Even though we haven't seen a Cyclops by Hono yet, right? It's obviously they tease that it's coming. They're probably making the whole line. It looks like they're making a lot of the figures actually. Knowing that this company Hono, which is licensed, which is attached to Hot Toys, and knowing the quality of Hot Toys, and this is why I'm telling you, you should definitely get this figure, and that goes for anybody out there who's debating on it, who wants to try their product. This is how you're going to find out what to expect from the company by getting their first product, right? So my question is, knowing all of this about Hono, why would you still hold off and say, I'm still going to go with the third party, even if Hono makes the Cyclops? Like, what is the drive for you that says, I'm all in on the third party, even though I could get this for cheap, right? License from the King Company, or, the little brother of the King Company.
Let's look at that Cyclops one, because I think you're right. Hono's going to make it, right? There's no reason for them not to make it.
Right.
But present toys just beat them to the punch. And usually here's where it comes in. Like we talked about this a little bit, I think last week, was the so classic Loki, because I never thought Hot Toys would do it. And that was one of the times where I actually canceled an order because Hot Toys made it. I think here we're not talking about that difference between a likeness to an actor, that Hot Toys is going to excel at. This is a very animated look. Right. So, I think you're definitely going to get the quality with Hono. I'm a little more at the price point. I think I could wait a little bit and just see what I visually like more, right? And doesn't mean that I won't get the Hot Toys or the Hono one once they release it, right? I love Cyclops, so I have no problem owning multiples of it. So it'd be
Oh,
nice
so I was
to
gonna
do a
s-
comparison.
that was my next question. Would you buy all three if you thought that?
Oh
they all-
yeah, yeah. If they looked good, and if Hono does a really good looking one, I had no problem buying it.
Oh
Again,
wow.
that goes to price point, right? Though,
Right.
like if each of these figures were 300 plus,
Different story.
right? But at the cost that they're doing it, they're giving these to us. It's a little more palatable, right? I'm like, okay, I can part with a little bit of change to get this. So yeah, yeah. This brings me back to the good old days when we were
Albert!
picking up like every release.
Albert, welcome.
I'm doing.
Thank you for being here, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Pricing is 1000% a factor.
Mhm.
Absolutely, it always is. Nefty, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
I'm doing.
Yeah. Usually, not usually. I think price is always the first thing that obviously affects us when it comes to buying anything, right? You see something you like, what's your first thought? What's the price? So
Right.
price is always the first thing. So the fact that they're so cheap, and licensed and attached to Hot Toys says everything you need to know about this company, period.
Right.
Can you expect any damage, anything, any QC issues? I doubt. I mean, anything's possible at any moment. But if anything goes wrong with this figure, it's going to be very, very minimal. I noticed that on toysforkiddos.com, he was already sold out, and he's being sold for like $270, I believe. And
Right.
he's already gone. Again, Toys for Kiddos gets about 1 to 2 pieces per item. Then he sells out. Then he'll pick up more a day or two later. So don't think he's completely gone on there, at least, because he's not. Also, Rudy, the articulation. You're noticing that they're not giving us much of anything. You
Right.
notice everything is standing. You're noting. Look, they're showing you that the torso does the ab crunch, so it bends forward.
Right.
You don't see anything dynamic. You don't see anything crazy. You don't see anything. This is like the most dynamic pose out of everything right here with
Right.
the bent leg. So how do you feel about that? Like, do you expect, again, going back to the price, but do you expect anything fancy? Even though this figure, right, it's not supposed to be a Spider-Man style figure. It's not supposed to be anything crazy like that. But it tells us what type of bodies they're using for these figures. So how do you feel about that?
I think it's fine. Again, it goes back to a price point, right? This is not the most expensive figure we're going to get there. You're getting some really decent poses out of him, which I think go along with what you want Wolverine to do. I like the hunched over pose where he's got the arms kind of clenched, like swoop forward. He looks tough. He looks like he's about to brawl. I
Right.
answered Joker already, by the way, Joker J. I have all those. I don't know, Fabs, if you saw that, right? All the early Hot Toys Batman figures.
Yes.
The suits leak.
Yeah.
Like I'm cleaning them, and I'm like, this is so nasty.
You know
What
which
is
one?
this? The
You know
oil.
which one? You know which one I think was leaking? I think the Toy Fair exclusive Batman Begins one, the one that
Yeah.
the updated, that thing was leaking for a while. My comedian, that thing is
The
still leaking
the
right now.
comedian leaked forever,
Yeah,
man.
still
That
leaking
was
right now. Mine's still leaking right now. And obviously, like you guys, I told you guys, the Steel Toys Era Colossus 1.0, that thing is urinating out of the boot right now. We have he doubles as back scratch. Back scratch. All right. So last but not least, Rudy, do you hope that they thought of this ahead of time and we are going to be able to head swap and use Logan's spare head sculpt for those who don't want to use it from the movie and use it on this? Do you think that's going to be an option? And do you think if it's an option, it'll look good? I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably not going to look good because
I don't think
his head's
so
a lot.
I saw I did see a video like somebody posted. I don't know where it was. It was on YouTube or something. It's got the standard peg for the head, right? That comes out. This was not magnetic, so it's a pretty standard connector.
Right.
So the question is just, is that Logan going to have that same connector? If it does, then yeah, you'll be able to use it. I don't know that it's gonna look good, to be
No,
honest.
that's my only thing. I don't think it's gonna look good. Number one, his neck is super thick. No Diddy. Look at that. Like that thing is massive. I can guarantee you that the head will probably fit, but it'll look funky and funny because look at this. This whole head is gonna be way bigger than his head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
But-
the arms are gonna look like Hugh Jackman is ripped, right? He's jacked, but he's not like this. These are animated, like Jim Lee style.
Barry has a question for you, Rudy. He says, "Leaking. What is it coming out of the figure?"
It's like oil, right?
Yeah, it's like
It's like an oily material.
smelly, like a chemical smelly oil that comes out of God knows where, because there's no fountain on it. There's no source. It just bleeds.
It's like the material, and
Yeah.
I'm in a nice. My basement is pretty cool, so it's not like it's
So is
exposed to
mine.
temperature
Yeah, exactly.
or anything.
So is mine.
So
That's why it's weird. Oh, there it is. Petroleum. That's exactly what it is. No, that's exactly what it is. Petroleum. It smells like straight up chemical, and that's exactly what it is. All right, guys. So we got some third-party action. We got this, guys. So for those who don't know, Flashpoint made previously another 1/6 scale Spawn figure. I forget which other company had made one that was like a quarter scale. It was way bigger than these. The 1/6 scale came out. I ended up missing out on it. Here we got another one. So this is called Gunslinger Hell Dominator. Okay. So it's a different take on Spawn, a different look of Spawn. I love Spawn. I love any type of Spawn figure. I love Spawn. I love the character. I love the movie with Michael J. White. That movie was one of my favorite movies. I watched the movie literally at least 1,000 times over the years. So I could tell you literally everything that happens in that movie. I never read a what do you call it, comic book? A Spawn comic book ever, right? But I watched the movie and I know of Spawn growing up and seeing him around. The figure looks great. The pistols have great detail to them. A lot of detail on the guns, and the rifle reminds me a little bit of, I don't know, you could tell me, Rudy, also, Ghost Rider's weapons. Remember when he was, especially the rifle. The rifle reminds me of the Ghost Rider.
That looks cool. That little the action he's got, that looks pretty cool.
This little pose right here. Yeah, it's really nice. The one thing about, and I was telling Rudy before, the one thing I don't like about this figure, guys, it's that witch's hat, like this long, super long hat. And I don't know if it's removable. As you can see, we went through all the pictures and not a single picture shows you with the hat off of the head. So I was telling Rudy that I think that might be the way to cover up the battery slot, right? You got to lift off the hat and then obviously insert the batteries. So Rudy, obviously everybody knows by now that you're the third-party king, that you don't
I don't buy hot toys.
You don't forgive any third-party company as long as they come out with any product. There you are, first in line. So how do you feel about something like this? Being a Spawn character. I don't know how you feel about Spawn, but how do you feel about this overall?
This is a funny anecdote. I was never when Spawn came out, my mother would have killed me if she saw Spawn things. She would have been like, "Oh my God, devil worshiping! What are you doing?" Coming from a Latin family, that's like a big thing. So,
but Central America, more hardcore because they're more religious. They're way more religious than South America. Yeah.
Oh my God, my mother would have like exercised me or something. And then my dad would have just been nodding. How parents are. So I never got into the comics because I was always into the Marvel stuff and then the Superman stuff. It looks good. But I just, when I buy some of these figures, and Joker Jay and I, we were talking about this on one of my videos. We were kind of going back and forth. It's rare for me to buy a figure just because I think it looks cool, right? Those Damn Toys Monster Hunter things were probably the first ones that have been tempting in a while, but otherwise I'd have to have a connection to it. This looks great, but I don't know that I'm going to buy it or jump into it just because there's so much else that's coming out that I have more of an attachment to at this point. But it looks awesome. I think it looks great.
No, it's a great, and then you can see you got light up eyes, so it's got a nice in there. You got batteries. Uncarded says those are called VOCs, volatile organic compounds, blended plastic products that contain elasticizers and other flexibility agents will eventually separate out and leach out of the product. There you have it, guys. The scientific explanation for the leak. I thought it was just peasantry out of the third-party company, but it's not. There's actually a chemistry behind it. Thank you, Uncarded. Spawn sucks. Oh my god, this guy, unbelievable. Brad,
How dare you?
I remember when didn't Todd McFarlane buy the Mark McGuire home run balls and spend all that money, and then I forget who, like Barry Bonds came in, crushed the record, and they were worth nothing after that.
wait, say it again. Say it again. I was reading the
McFarlane, Todd McFarlane. I think he
Right.
spent all this money on the Mark McGuire home run baseballs when Mark McGuire broke the home run record. So he always kind of had that little air of, douchiness and spending his money,
I
on all
don't
this
know.
craziness.
I gotcha. Yeah, no, I don't know the guy like that. I know who he is. I've seen him in videos, and I've seen him speaking. Especially, I've seen those gold. What is it, like a Batman figure that he's selling? But it's like a gold standard or gold version of it or something. So I've seen his little commercial clips on Facebook. So I know what he looks like, but I've never I've never paid attention to him like as a person. No.
Dude, I always loved this company. That's what got me. That was one of the first things I started collecting. He did those 6-inch figures, the movie Maniacs. Those kind of got me into the whole collecting thing. And then, of course, I found Hot Toys.
Brad, you're crazy. What was it? What was I just looking at? Ernesto, what the hell's Gryffindor? You think
Gryffindor? That's the Harry Potter school. That's the.
That's why I don't know what the hell that is. I was like, what the hell is Gryffindor?
Dude, you know, between the boys that you don't watch, between Forrest Gump that you don't watch.
Hey. Just because I don't like to be programmed by the government, okay, doesn't mean that I'm weird.
I'm not saying, I never said you were weird.
Well, you're saying that I'm missing out on some cultural stuff with Hermione because of the absolutely not. I've lived my life without Hermione my whole life perfectly fine.
Listen, at least do Mike a solid and watch The Boys.
No, I was going to at some point, and then Joker Joy said it's turning trans, so I was like, oh man. So that was that. Get the carbon fiber comedian. This guy, the juice balls.
The juice balls, right? Steroid era for baseball.
Yeah, so exactly. I got the tall one, the one that looks like a quarter scale. I didn't get the Flashpoint one, even though it looks amazing and it looks great, and I missed out on it. The one that came with that fancy base that was like $300.
Yo, that base looked great though.
Yeah, but not.
You know,
not
for
worth
no, it's not. But that diorama base looked beautiful. I'll be honest.
No,
I didn't think it was worth it,
but not that money. Absolutely not. So that's why I missed out on. But this is actually looking very, very sexy, and I really, really like it. If I decide to go backwards for the other one, then I'm definitely getting this one. But it looks very, very nice. Alan Carter's cracking up. Programmed by the government. We have that after. This guy, Rudy. Stop your conspiracy theories.
You can always try to mod this maybe and see if if you can get the hat off of it.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, to cut it off, I have a feeling you're going to be able to take it off. I don't think they're going to sculpt. And I'm saying this because of the fact that they made this figure already. So this figure is already made. This is just being reused. So I think what they did was they just attached the hat on it for the pictures.
Right.
I don't think it's permanent. I can tell you that right now. I mean, the fact that they didn't show you the hat removed is a red flag for me. Right. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't come off just because they didn't show you with it off. You know what I mean?
It could be something like the Peacemaker figure, right? That the gun, everybody was saying, oh, you can't. There are no pictures with the gun, and then it just has a little tab of glue, and you just have to.
Exactly. So that's a possibility. Again, not that third-party company needs to do that, right? Because they clearly don't care about not pushing any buttons or not, causing any problems for the licensor or anything like that. So, I don't think this is necessary, but we'll see. This looks like the creeper if he went creeper. Vino like gunslinger spawn is it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. Ernesto Hermione building his space lasers. Hermione.
One day you're gonna say the name right.
Yes, look at that, man. I want an Al Simmons OG spawn from Hot Toys. I don't ask for exactly. I just want that Spawn by Hot Toys with his head sculpt. That's it. Done. Give me a super massive, long, huge cape, wired, like that scene when he was on top of the building and the cape's like all over the place.
Right.
Give me a 5-foot long cape. And what else? Give me a battle damage version with the bullet holes in green, just like they gave us that Warrior Alien battle damage version with the green blood all over it. I'm telling you, I should be working for Hot Toys, giving them ideas. So Rudy, rate this 1 to 10.
I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8.
Is this something you're interested in getting or not really?
No. It looks great. I know it would be visually something that would pop, but there's too much other stuff coming out right now that I'd have to.
Like Harry Potter, guys.
That's great. Don't knock it. Don't knock it.
I'm not knocking it. I don't know it. And then, guys, like I said, we have another. This is not third party. This is actually licensed. So it looks like Gong, who made the company that made the Buzz Lightyear diecast figure, and then that second Buzz Lightyear, Gong is making a half scale, right, Rudy? You said half scale?
Yeah, it looks like half scale, yeah.
So half scale Ted, which I think is fun. I think it's cool if you like the movie. The movies were very funny. So is this necessary for anybody's collection? Obviously, if you're a fan, I think it's a cool idea. It reminds me of the Winnie the Pooh figure that Hot Toys made. Obviously, this is going to be smaller than that. Bigger than that.
Did you get this? Did you get those? The Winnie the Pooh?
Absolutely. By Hot Toys? Absolutely. I got the double pack of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet.
Those were funny because those Sideshow never got those. You had to get those overseas.
It was overseas only, just like the Transformer Optimus Prime Megatron version was an overseas only.
Right.
So a lot of figures that come out overseas, I try to get, obviously, eventually, but yeah, those were overseas. And another thing, guys, that I'm just noticing now, look at the different expressions. So I don't know if these are magnetic pieces that you actually put on.
That looks pretty fun, man. That looks fun.
I'm saying, like, this here looks like you remove that to put the new one on. Obviously, the eyes don't need to move, but the eyebrows also look like they're detachable and you could place them however you want. Look at that. Another expression for the mouth.
Listen, I'm not going to get this, right? But it looks good. Like,
it's fun. It looks like a fun figure. It looks like
this looks like something you have, and it's like, all right, this is good for a nice laugh. Yeah. This is
something you could keep in like the living room where like everybody walks in and leave it there, and it'll somebody's gonna say something about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like a lot of people watched that first movie and loved it. So it's
and even if you don't watch the movies, the commercials, everybody's seen the commercials.
Yeah.
So how would you display this?
I don't know. There's a lot of options here. Now I'm curious to see what it's coming in with. I almost like the angry look. I like the angry look a little bit.
Exactly. I like the angry look because it makes him look more like him. You know what I mean? More like a bad bear. I would display him like this with the tie, with the beer bottle, the cell phone, but make him angry.
It's a fun figure. I'm not gonna pick it up, but this is something that you look at, and this is where it comes in. Like, it's something different, right? Something a little off the, when we pick up superheroes, when we pick up Star Wars, military or whatever. This is something that's so out there, so different. I'm like,
unbelievable. We got Derek in the house. Welcome, my friend.
I'm doing
31 of you guys in here, please hit that like button if you don't mind. Don't be peasants on my stream. And then also, guys, like I told you, we have some J&D drama. Okay, so buckle up, guys. Buckle up. Let me say hello to you guys real quickly, and then we will get right into it. Fabs by 3 times and sleep with 2. This guy, unbelievable. Imagine what Mike would be thinking. I know he would be like, "Who cares?" We got Michael in the house. Welcome.
I'm doing
Hermione. I'm not even a fan of that. Oh man, that's how special she is in my life that I don't even know how to say her name. Unreal. Does Tech talk? I know. I was wondering that. That would have been great, but I don't think so. It's a fun figure, but I do not know about the scale exactly. It looks great.
It's 30 centimeters, so it's about 12. It's about the size of a 6 scale figure. So it's like
it's a big
figure, yeah.
Because if you picture what he looks like in the movie, and you do
Yeah,
that
he's
half
like-
scale of that, then
Yeah,
it
so
makes
he's
sense.
like he's always like waist high. So
Correct. Well,
it
less
makes
than
sense.
that.
Yeah,
Less than waist high. Like he's I think he's a little bit taller than knee high, if anything.
maybe you're
Yeah. And then Ernesto says also the amount of swappable faces. Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, I wasn't gonna. I saw the picture. I said,
now
"All right,
you're tempted.
let's talk about it tonight." Now that I'm actually looking, because that's what happens a lot of times. I'll see something announced. Like I said, I don't have time to be researching. I was talking to
Right.
Rudy about this. So when something comes out, I'll store it. I'll send it to myself and I'll save it. I won't look at anything until the stream. So I'm looking at them now with you guys. So a lot of times you'll get my first original reaction on the stream because I can't look. I have no time to look at this stuff throughout the day. Like you have to live under the rock. Well, that's what I'm saying. I've never watched the movies. I don't know anything about the movies. Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, like nothing. I don't know anybody's name. I don't know anything about anything. It's not something that I was ever interested in. Same thing with what was that video game? Final Fantasy. So anything, with that stuff, magic stuff or RPG stuff, never been for me. Never been for me. Ash says, I love the first Ted. Yes, the first Ted was way better to me than the second.
Oh yeah. There were so many memorable parts of that Ted. That movie had me laughing.
He said, I got a poster with my Can you imagine? Oh my God. I want a foul mouth Teddy. Yeah, exactly. Yay, drama.
It's not that much drama.
No,
It's just
it's not like what you guys think. No. But J&D is coming in with the bullshit, so we're gonna get into it. All right, so guys. So as you can see here, we have J&D talking about how they're making their next figure, or the next figures, right? So I'm gonna pull this up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So here is the announcement by J&D, right? So it says here, a message from James. I summarized the answers by selecting the questions that many people asked on the live broadcast. So this is obviously going back after they stream live to tell you guys about what's coming soon, which is going to be this. So now, Rudy. So one thing I'm gonna talk about what I picked up from this. Obviously, you guys know, like I'm just telling you guys now, this is not interesting for me. I'm not getting this. I would never have looked at this because I don't know anything about it, right? And like you guys know, I don't need to know anything about it to buy something, but because it's not the type of characters or movies that I'm even interested in, that's why I didn't even, I don't know anything about any of this. But one thing I picked up from this list was that they mention, where is it? I'm going to try to.
I think it's 0.8. Kojin Works Light.
Here it is. So Kojin Works Light, which will be introduced to you for the first time, is a PVC version prepared for many people to experience J&D. Okay, so what does that mean? I'm going to let Rudy go, and then we'll get into this topic, and then I'm going to let Rudy take over with everything else, because obviously he may be getting this. He's looking into it. He likes the line. He loves the line, actually. So, Rudy, so when you hear Kojin Works Light, right? So this is what he said. This is 0.9. And then number 10 is also, since Kojin Works is a limited quantity product, and Kojin Works Light produces all the quantities that have been ordered for a month, there is no reason to be stressed because of the sold out. So it looks like they're making two versions of it, correct?
Yeah. So look, it's because I read through this too, and there's a lot to look at here, right? So the first thing is J&D, right? There was some talk when they were coming into the market, and then they released that first Joker for $2,000, and it was like, are we really getting into $2,000? That's custom money territory, right? For 6 scale figures, which is a deal breaker for a lot of people. We talked about how their target market was Korea, right? So they really didn't care. To me, then they released the Batman, which was kind of crazy to me, that it was essentially a Bruce Wayne figure with a Batman statue, because it's not articulated, right? So you got the armory, and then you got a Batman statue that you couldn't even pose. So it defeats the purpose of the 6 scale figure model for me. And it feels like what they didn't even do rooted hair on that, which is all the rage on all these premium figures.
Right.
So they got a lot of flack for that. And it just seemed like they came out with their 6-scale product and it didn't meet. A lot of people didn't even care about it, right? They were so priced out. It's like, all right, here's another thing. So to me, the first thing when I read about, forgetting the license, but the fact they're introducing this Kojin Works Lite that's supposed to be more affordable, it's their way of trying to course correct without saying we kind of messed up, right? On the price point.
But question for you. So that's a great point. So we remember, guys, that Joker was $2,000, right? Which was, everybody was like, what the hell is this? You know, why? Right. It looks like their little trick didn't work. Okay, that's why they needed to come out with a pretty much a Hono line for their J&D stuff, right? So for their but what is it called? The
Kojin Works stuff.
The Kojin Works, right? So how do you feel about, so Uncarded says that the PVC pieces are going to be hollow plastic power posts. Do you think that's the case, or do you think it's going to be something different?
No, I thought the same thing, because PVC is what was it? You have the blurg, right?
Yes.
Like when you look at some of those, that's PVC. So
yeah.
It's, to me, when I read that, I'm like, so what are we getting? We're getting a 6-scale statue out of PVC now? I mean, again, I'm not sure what it is, but I read that too, the PVC, and I immediately thought of the blurg, and I'm like, if you're going to buy a 6-scale figure, you want a figure, right? I don't want a 6-scale statue. Right. Like we talk about the Armory, right? Not the Dark Knight Armory, but the Dark Knight Rises, the acrylic one.
Yeah.
Right? At least that one, the Bruce Wayne, you got that statue. I feel like it was a way to display the unmasked head, right?
Correct.
So I feel like instead of a bust,
correct, exactly.
Right. But here it's like, if I want a figure, I want to be able to pose it. I want to be able to set it up however I want. And if we're going to get something PVC, now I'll wait to see, because apparently they're going to do it in July, right? They're going to release these. The first one's in July, so we'll see what they're talking about. But the first thing that tells me, I think this power pose thing was the first thing that came to mind as well.
Michael says, I'd rather have a couple companies have a Nightwing war, because, yeah, exactly. Nightwing war. So now, how interesting is it to you that you are buying the in-art figures, correct?
Yeah. I ordered all 3 so far, yeah.
So you pre-ordered all 3. How does it make you feel that now another company that is licensed is doing the same thing? Do you think, which ones do you think will be better? Obviously, we haven't seen
any of them, right?
Right.
So I'm not a statue collector, right? I've seen the J&D stuff. Some people love it, and I've seen some people like not care for it. I'm somewhere in the middle. Some pieces look good, and some statues look just okay. I think, who said it? Somebody said it. I think Great Brain Robbery said it, right? I never expected to see 2 companies going at it for Harry Potter, right? It's a license that who's expecting anybody to kind of jump at that? Star Ace had it for a while, right? They never did anything with it after. They did a ton of things with it, and then it kind of fell away. Then InArt, I actually applauded InArt for doing Lord of the Rings, Dune, and for doing Harry Potter, because it was something a little different, right? From
that nobody had really made anything of
in a while. So now to have, J&D's it's just strange. It's bizarre to me. And I think we were talking about the licenses, because look, they did the Joker at $2,000 right after InArt had done their Joker 2-pack, which, look, I know you have your issues with it, but a lot of people seem to be happy with that.
Which
you
one?
got a diorama, the Joker 2-pack, right? From InArt.
Well, no, I didn't have an issue with it.
You didn't have an issue?
No, Rob broke mine when he came, but mine was perfectly fine. I never complained about mine at all, actually.
But it was a good product. Then Hot Toys is coming out with their Artisan Joker, right? So you've got 2 higher end Jokers already, and for some reason J&D thought we're going to jump into the fray with a $2,000 version, right? Then they did this Batman figure, and Hot Toys just released their Batman Armory with an actually improved figure as well, and a Bruce Wayne. Right. And it's like, if you have to pay $2,000 or $2,500 for a J&D with a statue, or $500 for a Batman that's articulated from Hot Toys, which one's going to win out?
Right.
And I think this is going to be more of the same. It's like, all right, InArt's already way too expensive for what we're getting, and I know that, right? Getting into things, they're charging $560, $580 for those figures, and then how much is J&D going to charge? It's going to be another $2,000 figure, or even if they say $1,000, that's a lot,
Right?
right? And it's like,
what do you
Yeah, go
expect that PVC to be priced at?
I have no idea. With J&D, they are so out there.
Right.
They might say, listen, this PVC thing is $500 and that's affordable.
Right.
Which is ridiculous. So
Right.
their J&D has just put themselves in this position where I think they're a little nuts. I think their price point is a little crazy for the 6-scale market. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Fabs like InArt. I love InArt. Two companies having pissing customer over Harry Potter is a good way to put each other out of business.
You're not wrong, because right, John from InArt always says this line isn't one of their best selling lines, which makes sense, right? There's not that much popularity for it.
Joker just says, "Yeah, think J&D leaks? Probably it's silicone."
Probably, yeah. Probably.
Oh man. So Rudy, why? What? How does? I asked you this already, but I feel like you're leaving me hanging with your how you really feel about pre-ordering all of these and then having a new company. What did you say about the rooting about this? Are they rooting these too or no?
Who knows? Right, that's the thing with J&D.
So
like,
question for you:
know.
The J&D Batman stuff that was not rooted.
The Joker had a rooted and an
not the rooted,
version.
the Batman.
That's what was funny about it. They at $2,000, their Bruce Wayne was a sculpted hair version.
That's what I thought.
And then they closed pre-orders and they reopened them like maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, the rooting.
With all of a sudden announcing, oh, we're actually going to do rooted because it looks good.
I remember that. Okay.
And to me, it's like, it's a little crazy. Look, I'm happy with what I pre-ordered right now from InArt because I think it's already way more than ideally I would have liked to have paid. I'm not going to pay J&D prices for this unless I'm blown out of the, somehow it's, the next coming of 6-scale figures. There's a lot of hyperbole here in what they're saying. We're going to be the best. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It's like, all right, show me what you got. I don't know that any figure, especially a kid figure, right, which is going to be a smaller scale, is going to be worth the amount of money that they're going to be charging. So,
Rudy, Ernesto has a question for you. When you say PVC, I think of a bathroom sewage pipes. Any difference between that and InArt?
InArt's not PVC, buddy.
Oh, Ernesto.
How dare you?
I look, when I look at this, I just think it's more interesting. And we were talking about this too, right? Beforehand. Because we joke about, and it's not really a joke, about how Hot Toys is king.
Yes, it's not a joke. I don't joke.
It's not a joke.
I don't joke about reality. Okay.
No, but what one of the things besides the quality of the product and how long they've been in the market that makes them kind of such a good company is also the licenses that they have.
Everything.
And InArt has said it on every stream whenever they're asked, "Are you going to do Star Wars? Are you going to do Marvel?" They say we can't touch it because Disney's very happy with the company that's doing their figures right now, which is Hot Toys.
Who's that?
It's Hot Toys.
That's correct.
So, but let's think about what Hot Toys has then. Hot Toys has Star Wars. They have Marvel, which even though it's going through a lull, it's still pretty popular. They have Predator. They have Aliens. People are still, now that they own Fox, they own all of that, right? So they own all Avatar, right? We're getting Avatar figures. So you're getting all this stuff that people want other companies to do, that if Disney's super happy with Hot Toys, they're never going to get a chance to do. That's what we're starting to see. So what's left? Clearly, Warner Brothers has no issue giving their license out to everybody because Jazz Inc. has it, right? InArt has it. Now J&D has it.
All the Pezzes have it.
And Hot Toys still has it because Hot Toys is still making DC stuff. So it's almost like these companies are now picking and choosing from what's left over, which is, we see the DC wars going between every single company. Now it's apparently going to Harry Potter. Right. I mean, Og Toys, a company, right, that nobody knew about, is doing Dune figures, and so is InArt at this point. So, but what's left? What else is there? The big franchises are already spoken for, so this is what's left for them to fight over. That's kind of interesting to me.
And question for you: you said that Oh my God, you said something about the two companies. Oh my God, I forgot. Anyway, but oh my God, you just made a point, and I was like, I gotta bring that up, and I completely forgot. Oh man, what was the last thing you said? Repeat it.
About the licenses that Hot Toys, they're all
Yes, the
competing over the
license.
same thing. Yeah.
That's what it was. So one thing I've always said to you guys was, when it comes to licensing, one of the reasons why Hot Toys is king is because they get everything and they get anything. There's not one license, and I remember this telling you this word for word. There's not one license that they could go that they would go after that they will not get. Period. Okay, their company speaks for itself. Any company that they approach asking to make their product will never say no. Okay, that's why they are who they are, and that's why they're where they're at. If they were a crappy company, if they weren't doing as good, if they weren't, such a good company overall, licensors would be like, I don't know. They wouldn't be getting as many licenses as they do at the same time because they get license after license after license after license. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Right.
Tell me another company that does that. None. There is none.
Right.
So that's why they're king. That's why they'll always be king, whether you like it or not. That's what it is. You can like other companies' product. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to who is the best consistently, Hot Toys, and there'll never be anybody taking that from them because it's impossible. It's impossible.
Right. Look at again, going back to the license thing. InArt, one of the biggest requests that everybody seems to always have for InArt is John Wick. And they mentioned that they were trying to get that, and something happened with the contract where it couldn't go through. You know who got the John Wick contract? Hot Toys, right? It's 6 scale. So, even when there's an opportunity to get the license, for some reason there's it's not going through. So Hot Toys, when it comes to licenses, that's what's going to keep them on top and keep them going because they're not losing out on that.
And one thing I just remember what the point was. You mentioned that about the license. Why J&D got the Harry Potter license. My question to you was, do you think that all of a sudden they came out of nowhere because number one, they already had it in their plans, or two, they noticed that there was a huge hype with the InArt figures and they said, you know what, let's jump on this?
I don't know that there's a huge hype though with the InArt figures.
I think so.
You think so?
Well, I think so because if you look at the groups, right? You look at the groups, you see the engagement on that stuff.
True.
So somebody cares for it. I'm not saying I do, but somebody does.
Right, like I do, obviously. I get excited about the franchise.
So my thing is, do you think that they got the idea from look at the hype from here, or they said, you know what, let's get into this, and then, oh man, now we got same thing that happened to Yost with the illegal company?
Listen, I think again, right, when you're looking at Warner Brothers and you get your license, you're going to get DC. What is left? Lord of the Rings, right, is the Warner New Line license, and then you've got Harry Potter, right? What else does Warner Brothers have from a franchise perspective right now that you can launch into? So I think it's a matter of this is what they were going to get into, and apparently it's very popular, right? The first movie seems to be very popular overseas, right. And right, we have to also remember to develop these figures. It's not like night or day, like one day they decided and the next day they've got a prototype. There's got to be a process to get these things through. So I think this was a while in the making. I think we knew InArt new J&D was coming in to the market. That's why they played things a little close and a little quietly for a while, because they knew that they were going to have some competition. But is it really competition when you're pricing your things at
I was going to say
J&D is doing it?
I was going to say I'm noticing that there's more of a competition between, and that's just right now, right? Because J&D, announced that $2,000 Joker and then disappeared, right? Until right now. So at this point, to me, it's looking like they're looking for the competition. And I think there's more competition with J&D and InArt than there is with any of those two and Hot Toys. You know, people just like to throw Hot Toys in the mix with any other peasant company as if they belonged in the same conversation, which is why I get upset, which is why I get annoyed, which is why I get, I get triggered when people say, things like that, because they don't make any sense, right? Anytime you're comparing a company that just was born yesterday to Hot Toys, it's like, what the hell are you talking about? That's delusion. You know what I mean? That's delusional to even think of that. You know. But my thing is, why do you think, if let's just pretend that they're going after InArt, why do you think InArt and not Hot Toys? Besides the obvious.
No, but I think InArt set themselves apart too with the price point, right? InArt, when they came out, they said they wanted to be like at a higher tier of collectibles. And I think J&D is trying to appeal to the same thing, because I think both companies realize that Hot Toys has the market cornered. So it's like, okay, if we go to a higher tier, then who establishes themselves as the top for that tier right now? And frankly, again, right, InArt started to release products. We complain about how they're releasing them and they take forever, but InArt starting to release things. J&D hasn't done one figure yet, and instead they kind of lost everybody's interest when they came in with a $2,000 figure. So
why do you think that was? Do you think that was a trick to get people to order their overpriced silicone stuff? Or do you think that in their heads they really believe that that's worth that money?
I think they really thought that it was worth that money.
Really?
I think in their heads, they really thought, we're going to put in a 1/6 scale figure that everybody's going to love, that is going to blow people's minds, that it's going to just be the best thing, you know, since sliced bread. And then when people actually saw what it was, I think it was like, wow, it's the realization. And then I think the response to the Bruce Wayne with the armory, I think it was the same thing.
That was like a
King Howard is king though right now.
I will always defend Hot Toys' honor, okay? I would never take their name, call myself the Hot Toys veteran, to be a peasant, okay? I follow king. I only collect king. Well, not really, but and also, guys, my last question for Rudy regarding this company. If for whatever reason, right? Let's talk about the, not the PVC version, the regular version, right? Let's say the regular version comes out and it looks incredible, right? It looks incredible, and you're like, oh man, that looks really good. It's rooted, right? Let's say it's rooted, so they come out rooted, and they price it at $900 because again, it's a tiny figure. How is that price for you?
That would have to be a hell of a package besides the figure to make it worth that much money. $900? No. I just, there's a limit, right? I feel like I'm already, though I as a collector, right, you always justify things to yourself.
Of course.
You're always like,
and especially that line for you.
For that one, I had to. I was like, I can afford this, right? I'm like, it's within budget,
right?
And the budget just keeps on creeping up. But like $900, man. Even if it were 900, which I don't think. I think this is going to be way more expensive than that.
More than $900 for that tiny figure, yeah.
Oh hell yeah, they're going to do that. Like,
William,
like I told you. Go ahead, William.
Finish.
Go ahead. I told you the story. Like my oldest daughter loves that show, the one on Netflix, Wednesday.
Okay.
Right, and there's I saw something on one of the groups, and it was a Wednesday Addams 6 scale figure.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah,
and it looked good. Good. And then I messaged the guy. I'm like, so how much is this going for? He's like, $2,500 all in. And I was like, what?
Yeah, I remember.
And my daughter's like, are we getting it? I was like, no, no.
Getting it. Said, no. Was she like, Dad, don't be a peasant? No. William, how do you feel about Kojin Works and Kojin Works Like? Do you know what that is or no?
Isn't that like J&D's thing?
Hono, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
J&D's Hono. It's PVC. So how do you feel about it? Are you getting 3 of each?
No, you can buy a real human for $900.
A real human.
Damn.
This guy's
way to make an entrance, William.
I know. Came in here with the trafficking talk. So William, if you were to price, obviously knowing the Joker was priced at $2,000 by J&D, if you were to guess, how much do you think they would charge for, or they would charge for the Harry Potter figure being as tiny as it is? Again, J&D, remember the price.
Yeah. I think they would try to get it as close to InArt as they could price wise to be, competitive, where they want to say we're better, we're more premium than the premium. And, so if the InArt one is going for 5, then I think they would shoot for like 750-ish, and then people wouldn't bulk too much at the upcharge, whereas more than double the price, it's almost the same thing as when people are looking at the Hot Toys versus InArt, where it's like, can I justify paying double, like the Batman, for instance, where you get the price between the InArt one and the Hot Toys one, and you put them side by side, and then some people can't even really tell the difference as to what they are. Just like the Star Ace, is it Star Ace who did the Lord of the Rings?
Asmus Toys.
Asmus.
When you've seen people like actually put time into the Gold Crown Gandalf, and you have him actually done up, styled, and then you have an InArt one near it, and it's like, wait a second.
Yeah,
right.
Big difference.
It's like, that's not like this one was 250 and that one's how much? And it's like, okay. And so it's like, if J&D or anybody else does this and it's a 4-digit figure, like, price wise, they're insane.
Yeah.
And you know what I think they're going to do? I think the PVC is going to be their cheaper version. And I think that's what they're going to price. They're going to price that version close to the InArt version, because I think they're exactly what William said. I think they think that their regular version is going to be worth way more. So I think they're using that PVC version to price it at InArt's price point as well.
Yeah, right. But I think it's like they think that they're going to entice in high-end like statue collectors into the 1/6 world, where it's like, well, none of that stuff will be in scale with their statues,
right?
And because if you were making figures that were the same scale as the statues that you already made, they would at least be the same size, in your display. And now you have the posable statue, but having itty bitty Harry Potter one scale for him's what, like 7-8 inches. It's like the Tyrion from Game of Thrones from 3-0. He's half as tall as an adult or as a full grown regular person, and it's like you want to have it's like the Stranger Things figures. It's like, if you were trying to charge $400 for something that small, it better be, the most amazing thing ever. But, the 3-0 prices are like 160 plus shipping and tax. Right. And it's like, okay, well, besides Hono, that's less than a regular 1 scale figure. So it makes sense.
3-0 is perfectly priced, William, I think, for those figures, because you get them in hand. There's not much to them. Like you said, they're smaller scale, right? I have the Will Byers right there. It's small. There's not much to it, but at 160, you don't feel like you're getting.
You already got your Will?
Yeah. There you go. I got it direct from 3-0. That's why.
Yeah. Mine's
Peasants buy direct.
Well, mine's on the right now, so it's on its way.
Right.
And William, last but not least, how much would you be comfortable if this was something that interests you? How much would you pay for this Harry Potter figure?
$250.
So you're not getting it.
That's why I didn't order the InArt one either. And when Evie saw it, she was all excited. She was like, "Oh, that looks really nice." And then it was like, "Hey, do you want to spend $500?" And she was like,
"Yep, it's crazy, right?"
She was like, "No."
And then, guys, we got an update on the Catwoman figure. So it looks like this is the file that they're working on, or they're going to be printing. It looks like. So, Rudy, is this exciting for you? Yes, no, maybe so.
No. I want to wait for the final thing. Give me the final. I like the behind the scenes stuff.
Is that
it's interesting to see it, but yeah, it's Jazz Inc.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see what he's doing and how he's getting to the final product. But show me the final product. Once I see your prototype, then I'll get excited about it.
Yeah, that face looks weird, like an actual animal. Doesn't it
Like
kind
an
of
actual-
look like
like
a
an act-
gerbil?
right here, it looks weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks a little bizarre.
like
Like
a hand.
like an actual cat. And then guys, so I was gonna ask you, William, since I don't think we ever spoke on this. How do you feel about Jazz Inc. making that Catwoman figure? And is that something that's gonna be in your collection? Are you interested in it at all or no?
I'm not interested in that specific figure. If they were to make a Batman,
They did for the Batmobile. Are you getting that one? The Power Pose?
which Batmobile?
They're making a Power Pose Batman for the Batmobile, Jazz Inc.
Which
the 89.
Batmobile?
The 89.
But the Jazz Inc. 89, I think he's making it. I don't know if he's making it to be compatible with both the Hot Toys and the Jazz Inc.
I
But
don't need a Power Pose 89. I already have one that's called the DX09. That
This one, William.
he looks like he's pooping.
This guy.
He does. Look at his face. Ugh. But
Don't be
no,
weird.
I already have a Power Pose. It's the 89. The body sucks so much that it just stands there. So,
Power Pose.
but yeah, it's like if they were to actually make a Batman, not a Power Pose, but an actual figure,
Right.
I would like to have it in hand to compare it.
An 89 Batman you're talking about.
Just in general, any Batman that I already have one of, it would just be I want to see an apples to apples comparison because, you know, I get it when they say that really Joker shade.
He said that earlier too.
Whenever they say, you know, oh, this is, you know, high end, we're doing this, we have the approval from Michelle Pfeiffer and all this other crap, and it's like, okay, cool, but and when you say our projected price is this versus this is the price,
Right.
you know, it's like
It's
projected.
gonna change. It's gonna change.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be at least double
Yep.
what they originally said, and it's gonna be like, or they'll end up saying, oh, we didn't get enough pre-orders, so we have to cancel it, or there's no more 2-packs, only single packs, or something like that.
You'll get a runaround one way or another. You'll get an excuse one way or another because it happens every single time. There's always an excuse for any type of issue that ever happens, and that's my problem. That's my issue with the company, and that's why all I can do is just stop supporting it. If I'm not happy with what I keep spending my money on, all I can do is stop buying. That's it.
I might actually get the 66 Batmobile. There's a guy right up the road from me that's selling it and Batman and Robin for right now. He's asking 2. I'm going to try to get him down to 1.
Oh, you'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it. If I know William, he'll get it. He'll get it for $5.
William, I got to be honest. That's awesome, man. The fact that you can get these deals.
No, he does. I'm telling you, he does.
No, I know.
Tell him your last deal. Tell him your last deal if you can.
What, the Batman Forever?
The double. No, you got something double? Didn't you get to double something?
What are we talking about?
Two figures for something.
Oh, I got both of the Stan Lees.
Yes.
For like 120 shipped or something like that.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine?
You know what's funny, William? I was at work and you had the Peacemaker, and you kept like I started seeing your posts where it was like 250 or 275, then 250, and then I think you got it to 225.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn it! I was at work and I couldn't check because I would have probably picked that up off of you. And then I saw the Batman Forever, which I never was interested in, and you priced that thing so well. I was like,
Yep. I almost got it from him, but then he said no. We got Big Rip in the house. Welcome. Hey, my friend. And obviously, guys, before we leave, because we got the show, a little bit more drama, and then we're out of here. So it looks like, guys, we are getting Andor Season 2. What does that mean? It means a lot. It means William. Potential characters very quickly from the show. Go.
Well, they've confirmed that K2 will be in Season 2, the droid. The current thing that Screen Rant is running with is that Ben Mendelsohn is back as director.
Right.
So the possibility of any of the characters that were in the Rogue One movie of showing up because they're all alive, even if it's just, a gratuitous cameo, somebody in the background,
Right.
Just passing by somebody in a cantina or something. But for season 2 of Andor, it's going to be different than season 1, where season 1 was all 12 episodes were 1 year. If for season 2, every 3 episodes will be a year. So it'll be because the first season was 5 years before Rogue One, and then the first 3 will be 4 years before, then 3 years before, 2 years before, 1 year before. So as you get closer to the Rogue One timeline, you're more likely to see Director Krennic and stuff like that, whereas they're not going to be in all 12 episodes of season 2. But I'm sure what you're getting at here is the possibility of Krennic 2.0 and things like that.
Correct.
And that would be hilarious if they do Krennic 2.0 before they do Andor 1.
Dude,
Well, obviously,
I need a
Andor was
Cassian Andor. Come on.
I was gonna say that was one of the main ones that we should expect at least.
Well, you would think Rogue One and Andor, and they still have not even a tease. It's not like Baze where they had a mock-up of him one time.
Yeah.
You had they were teasing him, and then nothing ever happened. You never even got a prototype of Andor.
Yeah. Who was it? Oscar Isaac's character from even he got a prototype. Remember in the
Poe Dameron.
Poe Dameron. We even got a sneak peek, and it never got released. But how do you not give us Cassian Andor? Now this is Star Wars that I really like. Right, I loved Andor season 1, and I was like, give me a Cassian Andor, and we still haven't gotten one. So I'm hopeful for season 2, but I don't know, man.
That's why I made one.
Yeah, so guys, so there you have it. I'll see you guys backstage. Let me send you guys the link for those who want to make it. Here we go. All right, guys. So I'll see you guys backstage. Thank you guys for being here. Rudy, are you expecting anything? Are you waiting on anything? Yes, you are. Actually. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just paid off from Kit my 2 Og Toys Dune figures, Duke Leto and Gurney. So after a long wait, I'm finally getting those 2 in hand. So I'm looking forward to those.
William, are you getting any more deals behind my back or what?
Yeah, today I ended up.
He's like, yeah.
He's like, yeah. Look at that smile, too.
Today I ended up with an Attack of the Clones C-3PO, brand new in the box, and another Cad Bane Deluxe.
Can you imagine being such a peasant?
So if anyone's looking for those, let me know. I got the hookup.
Oh man,
good price.
Wait, so what are what were the figures again? C-3PO from episode 1, and then
from episode 2.
Episode 2, right? And then
Cad Bane Deluxe.
Oh, you got prices on those, or you're doing like friends and family discount deals?
I always do friends and family discount deals.
Oh, nice! Look at that, guys. So anybody looking for those?
They're below retail.
Below retail. So guys, there you have it. So guys. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys backstage. We'll see you in the next one.